I've got a wedgie. Somebody help me, please. I was driving down the highway in my mom's pickup truck, and suddenly I decided to stand up. I said, "Mommy, I have a wedgie." And she said, "Honey, sit down, please." I said, "But Mom, I have a wedgie. Can you help me, please?" And she said, "No, I can't help you." And I said, "Yes." And then suddenly a convertible, an orange one, came speeding like a jet. And crash, boom, bang, I was flying through the air. Oh, I was flying. Oh, I was flying through the air. And then I hit my head and I said, "Oh, I don't know what to do." And then suddenly I was being carried on a stretch to the hospital. And then I said to the doctor, "Sir, I have a wedgie. Can you fix it, please?" He said, "No, I don't care to. I don't want to." "No, I don't care to. I don't want you to fix your wedgie." And then he said, "You have to have a surgery." And I said, "Oh man, what about my wedgie?" And he said, "Well, maybe the surgeon can fix it for you." So when I was in a room with lights and stuff, and I said to the surgeon dude, "Oh, can you fix my wedgie? Oh, can you fix my wedgie? Oh, can you fix my wedgie?" And he said, I don't care to. I'm a surgeon, not a wedgie fixer." And I said, "Well, I have a wedgie. You have to." He said, "No." I said, "Yes." 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 He said, "No." I said, "Yes, yes, yes." But he said, "No, no, 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 no."
What?
After the surgery, my back was feeling better, but my wedgie was still there. And so I was in my room, and the nurse came in, and she said, "I will help you with anything." And I said, "Well, I have a wedgie. Can you fix that?" She said, "No, I don't care to. I don't want to. That's not my business." I said, "Yes, you must." She said, "No." I said, "Yes." And then she walked out. So there was just one thing left for me to do. I stood up, tried to fix my own wedgie, but then I fell and hit my head and it was bleeding and I was hallucinating. A leprechaun was standing in front of me and he said, "Hello, how do you do?" I said, "Mr. Leprechaun, sir, ma'am, sir, can you please fix my wedgie?" And he said, "No, I don't care to. I don't want to. I don't want to fix your wedgie." I said, "Okay." 5 weeks later, I got out of the hospital. I was walking and walking and walking, feeling good as new, but I still had my freaking wedgie.
My freaking wedgie.
Oh,
my freaking wedgie. Yeah.
But then I tripped and I tumbled and I fell and I found out that my wedgie was good now. But then I fell again and I tripped on a rug and then I said, "Oh crap,